So I'm wondering if you are using social media for your marketing. And if you are using it, are you being random in your approach or are you picking the best time and place to post on social media so that you get noticed? I'm Jennifer Joy, and I help artists and other creatives to break free from the starving artist myth so that they can make more money with their creative work. And if you're being random in your social media marketing, then you're going to get random results. So that's why I chose this topic today. So random marketing, random results. It's a direct correlation. So let's start with where to post to begin. Now, first of all, you may want to do some research about where your customers, your prospects are hanging out online. And it's really easy to do. I'll tell you in just a moment about it, but you'll want to know, are they using Google? Are they using Facebook? Are they using Instagram? Are they on Pinterest? Where are your YouTube? Where are your prospects hanging out? And here's how you can find that out. There are two ways. Number one is you can start Googling. That's where Google comes in. You can start Googling, start searching and looking for the demographics of your ideal prospects, the people who buy your work. Start Googling, find out which social media platform they tend to hang out on. And number two is that you can ask. You can actually ask your past customers, do polling on social media. You can ask people who maybe haven't bought your work, but you know they sort of fit into that prospect area. So go ahead and just ask. So those are the two things: research it online or ask. Now, I often get asked, how often should I post? How often should I post? Oh, by the way, let me back up. If you are starting out on social media, or even if you've been on social media for a while, I suggest really picking one platform as your primary platform. Really pick one and devote your energy to that to start out with. And then you can expand as you go, as you get more comfortable with that platform. Now, what about cross posting? I know there are places you can do cross posting like Facebook and Instagram. That's fine. Go ahead and do the cross posting. It's not going to hurt. Yet don't distract yourself with too many social media platforms. Stick to one. Now, let's get back to how often to post. How often should you post? Well, I get asked this, and there is really a lot of conflicting advice out there. So here's what I recommend to my clients. To number one, pick a schedule where they can be consistent. That's it. Pick a schedule where you can show up week after week or day after day, whatever it looks like. Be consistent. Consistency is key. People will start to depend on your content to be there at a regular time. And it's also good for business. Like, it just shows that you are a legit business who's doing things on a certain timeline. I also suggest that you go for quality, not quantity. People, as much as we see memes flooding our news feeds and our threads, people don't want just a string of generic memes from you. Really pick quality over quantity. And with my clients, I always tell them, be consistent, quality over quantity, and start with a stretch goal. If you're looking at when to post or how often to post, start with something that's a stretch. It's something you know you can do, but you just haven't done it yet. Something that's not too far out of the norm for you. So start small. You can always build later, but it's better to start small and build than to start big and have to shrink. Okay. Now, that said, those are the recommendations I give my clients. Yet I know some of you out there are probably wondering, yeah, but what are the real recommendations? I want to hear the guidelines. Well, here are the most recent recommendations. With Facebook, they recommend posting 1 to 2 times a day. Instagram, 1 to 3 times a day. Instagram stories, 2 to 5 times per day to really build out that story. Pinterest, get this, 3 to 20 times per day. I don't know about you, but I'd be starting at 1. So that's what they suggest for that. And Twitter, 3 to 10 times a day. So the reason they give you these suggested amounts is so that you are kept top of mind of your prospects, so that they're seeing you frequently, because social media is a long game, a longer game. You might get lucky here and there. Yet it's really about building those relationships with people. So they need to see you often and have you top of mind when they're like, oh, wait a minute, I'm looking for a gift. And hey, I just saw this thing, right? So top of mind. Again, that said, consistency and quality, in my opinion, trump top of mind every time. So start with wherever you're at and build from there. And the final question around posting for social media, we've covered where to post, how to pick the perfect time to, or not how to pick the perfect, where to post, how often to post. Now we're getting to how to pick the perfect time to post. And really, when you start out, it's a guessing game. It's a guessing game. Yet, make an educated guess. Think about who buys your work or who might buy your work and when they might be home or when they might be online. So if you tend to sell to people who work outside the home, be conscious of whether they might jump on social media at lunchtime, or is it an after work thing, or is it a weekend thing? Start to pay attention when you're online to when other people are online. And vice versa, if they're home during the day, do they jump on early in the morning before the day begins, or is it later as a way to unwind? Just be conscious of the trends and pick somewhere to start. Pick somewhere to start where you can be consistent again. Now, don't worry if you are hearing crickets, if people aren't engaging, aren't responding. Like I said, social media is a longer game. We can get lucky here and there, but it's really about building those relationships. So no matter when you're posting, just consider it an experiment. If people aren't responding at that time of day, you're going to shift it a little bit. All right, let's try an hour later, an hour earlier for a little while. Let's see what happens there. So just keep practicing and just keep experimenting. And of course, once you start getting engagement, you'll want to keep track of when that engagement is happening and check your social media metrics. Sometimes you can get a really good picture of when your prospects are online once they start engaging and you start getting those metrics, and work that into your posting schedule. So that's what I have for you today. I hope it's been useful. We've talked about where to post, when to post, how often to post. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. You can always leave me a message in this video, or if you're on my email list, respond to this email, or you can send me a private message on Facebook. Until next time, get out there, share your spark. Bye-bye.